Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video on today. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the installment for the Week 4 preview, the Colorado Buffs versus the Oregon Ducks. All right, guys, coming into this game, both teams are a whopping 3-0, and both of these teams have, have their ways of being 3-0 and doing the things that they've been able to do, and we're going to get into that. But Oregon is coming off a win off of Hawaii. The final score of that game was 55-10. It was a flat-out blowout game for Oregon. So definitely this is going to be a tough game for them against Colorado. And I'm sure they're going to get a lot of film on what the weaknesses of Colorado is. And then Colorado is coming in this game off of a thriller from coming off a win against Colorado State. The final score of that game was 43-35. A great victory for Shedeur Sanders as he continues to prove why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, bringing the team back in the closing seconds and pretty much getting two touchdowns in the end to solidify the win against Colorado State. At first, when you were watching the game, you did not know who was going to win the game. It was a back and forth match. And then eventually Colorado State just pretty much dominated the rest of the game. And then some kind of way, Colorado ended up fighting back and did what they needed to do and got down there and scored a touchdown and also got a 2-point conversion to be able to tie that football game up and eventually to go ahead and win that game. Shedeur, man, I love the way he was playing poised. I love the way he was commanding the offense, but that sometimes, I just wanted him to run. The biggest thing, like I said, for me with Shedeur Sanders is, and I love Shedeur Sanders, is his ability to be able to know when to run. Once he stops overthinking and just runs when he needs to run, dive for the pylon, whatever you have to do, I think Shedeur is going to really, really captivate a lot of people because he doesn't run a lot. He's a quarterback that is thinking pass first before run, and nothing is wrong with that, and I'm not going to knock him for that. But at the same time, you want to see him use his legs every now and then. And he did use his legs a little bit in this game, so I'm going to give him his props for that. But I want to give big props to Shiloh Sanders on that pick six. That was crazy how Shiloh was able to jump the route and take it to the house for 80 yards, man. Ain't nothing like seeing, if you're Coach Prime, seeing your boys out there balling today. And both Shiloh and Shedeur shined in this game, man. And pretty much they ended up getting 3 interceptions in this game as well. And all of those interceptions came from the safeties. I think Woods had one as well. And then Craig had one as well. And definitely, man, shout out to those guys as well. And then Xavier Weaver doing what he normally does. Almost had 10 catches in his game. Xavier Weaver had 9 catches for 98 yards, 1 touchdown. And then the tight end showed up. He was big. Michael Harris was making some awesome catches. Also had 2 touchdowns in this game. And he had 7 receptions for 76 yards. And then Jimmy Horn, who is also one of the positive players on his team on offense, had 7 receptions for 66 yards and a touchdown. So definitely, man, Jimmy Horn had that late touchdown, which pretty much tied the game up and allowed those guys to be able to go into overtime. So, man, I'm loving the poise that Shedeur is playing with. Only thing I can say that Shedeur needs to clean up is just being able to know when to run. And I think once he stops thinking so much about pass or run first, the game is going to come natural to him. But this is going to be a tough game, man, going against Oregon. I'm not going to even lie. It's going to be in Eugene. It's not going to be a tough game. These guys are going to have to cover these speedy receivers in Oregon. You know how Oregon gets down. They normally are able to run the ball pretty good. And they have a lot of guys coming in and out of the rotation. So my biggest thing is I'm ready to see Alton McCaskill. I don't know when he's coming, but I want to see this kid get on the field. I want to see Smoke Cavassier, somebody different, man. The Wilkerson and Hankerson is not pushing the needle for me. These guys, Colorado must get better with running the football. If Colorado wants to be a better football team, they got to get better defensively and they got to get better with running the football. I haven't seen Smoke Cavassier yet or Alton McCaskill, but definitely, man, this team needs both of those guys, man. Definitely Dylan Edwards is box office, and he's always one of those guys that's, can can eventually break the home run, but you just never know when it's going to happen. But, Dillon has been a bright spot out of the backfield, whether catching the football or getting a couple big runs here and there, but they still haven't had that guy to eclipse 100 yards yet. They need that guy that's a workhorse and a guy that is speedy and powerful, man. And I can't wait to see Smoke, and I can't wait to see the rest of the running backs that they have on the squad. I just want to see what they have at running back totally, because Savion Wilkerson and Hankerson, they just not moving the needle for me. They're not getting the job done. These guys are getting stopped, and they just don't look good out on the field. And this is no knock to them, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't look good with them out on the field. So maybe this is something that Coach Prime will work on, getting that run game really, really going. I really can't wait to see when Alton McCaskill is going to come back and when they're going to play Smoke Cavassier. I don't know when they're going to put those guys out there, but definitely, man, they are definitely going to be needed against Oregon. Oregon is going to be a tough team. It's going to be a hard game for Colorado to try to go up there and be 4-0 on the season. So these next two games against Oregon and USC, you're really going to see how good this Colorado football team really is. And can they respond? And can they win a big game on the road in Oregon? They haven't won in Oregon in a long time. So will Coach Prime be able to get his 4th win of the season? All right, guys. So make sure you come back to the channel. I'll have more videos on Colorado Buffs. And I'll be back to you as always with another video. Until next time, peace.
Under pressure, no more time. Can we make a move? Overthinking, you and I. What do we have to lose? 'Cause